Hi everybody. It's nice to see you. Welcome to our chat. We are
Hi.
here to talk about Theater 444's upcoming production of Nunsense A-Men. So I'm so excited to be here and talk about this show. Why Nunsense? I mean, to me, I look at our audience and I think this hilarious show is perfect for them. And this cast has a bunch of heavy hitters of my local faves. And I think, wow, this is perfect. But why did you make the decision in order to do this show, Pam?
Yeah, so gosh, it's been a long year, Nick. I mean, when I think about us being live on stage, it was like 15 months ago that
Wow.
we were actually live on a stage with an audience in the room. And since then, we've just been surviving and trying things and learning and growing and changing and learning how to stream and getting really technically savvy and doing all kinds of interesting things. But the time had come to kind of just get back to like traditional, goofy musical theater. And it's been a long year for everybody. I think people are tired and need some laughter in their lives and some enjoyment. And so this is just pure joy. I mean, you guys can chime in. I think it's funny and fun and silly. It's not deep at all. So I don't know. Anybody want to chime in about it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just fun, right? It's it's just about enjoying ourselves again, laughing a little bit, and the fact that we're able to actually do it live now with some people in the room with us is even more exciting.
Yes, I think so too. I know that I could definitely use a little levity in my life right now, and probably everybody watching this could too. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Now, that's why it surprises me to hear that this was not the original plan for the season. Is that correct?
Well, the original plan was we were going to stream this show because that was just where we were at the time. But, you know, as we all know, things changed rather quickly with this whole scenario with COVID. And things, all of a sudden, it was like overnight, poof, we could have people in the room all of a sudden. And then that changed the plan. So now we had already started planning for streaming, and now we can have people in the room. And so that kind of changed our plan because we're like, well, we can't not stream now. We've told everybody we're streaming. So it's funny because I think back to an interview that we did. Geez, I think it was after Daddy Longlegs. We did an interview and somebody asked a question. Do you think you would ever stream and be live at the same time? And I think I said no at the time, which was only a few months ago. But here we are, you know. And it actually is a piece that serves that really well because the fourth wall is gone. There's the characters talk to the audience and the audience is engaged in the process of the show. So it lends itself to that kind of studio setting.
Yeah, and I think it's very impressive how easily this theater group, well, you make it seem easy, but how easily it seems you have adapted and adjust as things have constantly been changing. You've been innovating, and it's really inspiring to see just what creative, passionate people can do when they really put their minds to it. And honestly, I think that this is the most inclusive format. If you want to go in person and you feel comfortable and you're ready and you follow the guidelines, fantastic. And if that's not where you are in terms of your comfort level or just how you feel about it, you still have the option to stream. And that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, and we were talking, I know Garrett couldn't make it tonight, our TD, but we were talking to him today. We ran for the first time with the cameras today, and he said, you know, after Daddy Longlegs, I thought this was going to be even harder because we have people in the room too, but it's actually better. So I don't know if it's getting easier for us or what. What did you guys think today, having the cameras like roaming around?
Well, for me, I didn't even really notice it that much, and other than the parts where we actually interact with the cameras a little bit. Other than that, it's not intrusive at all or anything like that, but it's interesting to kind of, have to be aware of what you're doing a little more than you would on the stage, but with just an audience. But overall, it's not too much different in my eyes.
No, it's not intrusive at all. For me, the challenge is remembering you have to remember that it's there, because there's certain times when you need to, given the blocking, look right into it. Whereas, I've never had to do that before, so you're always playing to an audience, and there's times when you gotta. Kind of reminds me. I keep on thinking of, I don't know why, the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Am I on the Mary Tyler Moore Show? It's really weird. It's because it's like a sitcom kind of, where there's a camera. And plus, I'm sure we'll talk about it. The maybe we shouldn't talk about the soundtrack, the laugh track.
Oh yeah, we started with a laugh track and a sound, like an applause track, because we were gonna try to incorporate that. And then when we changed to an in-person audience, we were like, oh my gosh, what do we do now? And it's kind of warped into, Rochelle now has a character in the show.
I do.
Hey, welcome to the cast, Rochelle. Excellent. Well, hang in there. I know there are a lot of challenges involved with this, but Pete, you're going to make it after all. Let's talk a little bit about the show itself.
You just said.
Fly right by that joke.
Oh, yeah, no, I just put that in on purpose.
Okay.
Mary Tyler Moore joke.
You're so good.
The younger millennial Gen Z crowd out there. So let's talk for a minute about the show itself. People are probably wondering, well, what is the story of Nunsense? It's a really strange title. So if there's anyone who'd like to jump in and explain, what is the audience going to see?
Well, the audience is going to see nuns. They're going to see singing, dancing, jokes, and frivolity in general, and a lot of
mayhem.
A lot of mayhem and Catholic humor too. Gentle Catholic humor, I should say.
Is there a general premise to the show that brings all of these nuns into our lives?
Yeah. So there was a little bit of an accident, and some nuns had lost some lives, and the nuns of Hoboken kind of ran out of money before they could bury all the nuns. So there are about 4 nuns still in the freezer that these nuns need to now put on a show and raise money to bury.
And it's ruining the taste of the ice cream.
Well, that's perfect. So the format of this show actually sounds completely perfect for what you're doing. I mean, this sort of sounds like a telethon that would be streamed and you'd have an audience in person. So I think that's really serendipitous that it's worked out this way. Okay, that's the general premise, but I would like to ask our performers if their characters are with us tonight, if we can meet the ladies. Okay? Pete, could you start off by in character introducing us to who you are?
My name is Mary Regina, Mother Superior, and when I get my hands on Robert Ann, I am going to...
Yeah, you're a big talker.
So I am in charge. I kind of try to keep the wheels on the cart as well. I should do it in character, huh? I'm trying to keep the wheels on the cart as they're coming apart, and sometimes I actually succeed. Not often, and they're always doing stuff behind my back. This band of crazy nuns who I love very much, but I'm trying to discipline, and there's puppets, and there's ballerinas, and there's mad hatters, and the only person who keeps me sane, and he doesn't happen to be here right now, is my second in command, played by RJ. He's kind of like the buffer between me and the craziness. We will prevail. We will get those nuns buried.
Well, good luck to you. I appreciate it. Who else is here tonight that we get to meet?
I'll go
This
next.
time.
I'm Sister Robert Ann. And as you may have heard from Rev there, she doesn't always approve of all of my antics. And I really am excited about this show, except for the fact that she did not put a solo in it for me. So I'm going to see what I can do about that when the actual night comes along. But just know that if you don't get enough of me, it's her fault.
All right. Well, good luck to you, sister.
Sister Robert Ann, tell them where you're from.
Brooklyn, Canarsie.
Yep.
Excellent.
Folks know where that
Brooklyn.
is?
And you'll have to come to see the show, but leave it said that she is streetwise.
That's right.
In every sense of their word.
I'm
Excellent.
wise
Well,
beyond my years. That's for sure.
I do hope you get your solo number. Who else can we meet tonight?
Yeah, I'm Sister Mary. What amnesia they call me?
Again.
I can't really remember how I got here or who I am, but I'm here to put on a show and hopefully sometime remember a little bit about myself. I kind of had a little crucifix knock me over the head recently.
It wasn't a little one.
It was a good sized crucifix. It gave me a little knock in the noggin, and I don't really know what I'm doing right now. So.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So I hope you make it through this. This sounds like it's going to be a tough night for you, sister. All right. And last but not least, who else is in the house here?
I'm Sister Mary Leo. I'm the novice, which means I'm brand new. I get to wear a white habit. It's my nun couture. I'm very excited to have people come to see the show because I get to do a ballet. It's my interpretation of A Morning at the Convent. I will be a famous nun ballerina if it kills me and everyone on stage with me. And I am also excited for everyone to see the tap dance that I choreographed. And that's all I'm going to say.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I feel like that tap dance is just as exciting for Greg as it is for the character. So that brings us to my next point here, is that people who are familiar with Nunsense are probably confused why all these dudes are here in the cast. So that brings me to the next point, that this is a special edition of Nunsense A-Men, get it? So I'd like to ask the actors now about the challenges of portraying women, and not just any women, but nuns. That brings a whole other parcel of baggage with it too. So how has it been? What has the experience been like?
I think one of the first things Pam told us right away was this is not a drag show. So though we are in heels and nun habits, you're not going to get drag humor, which has been really nice because we focused a lot on playing authentic characters who, while they're in a ridiculous circumstance, they all love being nuns and what that means to them. So that's been interesting to navigate because, of course, the appeal is that you've got these men playing nuns, but we're not actually making that the joke. Like, we're not the butt of that joke. So, there I am.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, these pictures with the costumes are fantastic. Would anybody else like to chime in on the experience for them?
Yeah, I think I could. It's been almost like a journey because at first, it's like, oh my God, I'm dressing up like a nun. And then being a teacher myself, one of the first things I thought was, I can't believe the nuns who taught us at St. Patrick's in Seneca Falls had to wear these all day long, especially in the heat. Sometimes there was some getting used to, and I finally said to myself, yeah, you're dressed as a woman and you're in high heels, but after all, at the end of the day, you're playing a part. So play the role. And I've also, curiously, this is very curious for me in a positive way, is I'm backstage and I have that costume on and I'm either getting ready to go on or listening to what the guys are doing out there. I think of a couple nuns who helped form me in positive ways. I mean, it wasn't always a positive experience, but there's a couple who really and one in particular who, when it was snowing outside at St. Pat's, she'd stop the class and bring us to the window as little kids and let us enjoy the snowfall. And she had a poem, she said, and I've been thinking a lot about her. So it's really weird in a good way. It was really, so I think about them, and finally, at the end of the day, for me, the humor is just so overwhelmingly funny that you can kind of let go of the, oh my God, what am I doing? You know, it sounded like a good idea at the time, but now look at me. It just trumps, pardon the pun, it trumps everything else for me.
Well,
The
that's
humor, the
fantastic.
fun of it.
And that's great. It's really interesting to me because I know how zany and irreverent this show can be. But yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of love with these characters and a lot of heart, and that there's no mean-spiritedness towards religion or towards even dressing in drag or gender differences. So I think that that's actually really a pretty cool thing.
I tell you guys that from the research that I've done, I know that there are nuns all over the country that have seen this show and just love it. It shows them in such a normal light, and it shows their humility and humanity and all of that. So it's meant to be from love. It's not I don't know the word, but yeah, it's not negative at all. So
Yeah, and I very much am getting that impression, which is very exciting. So those pictures we were seeing with the costumes, I noticed not only do we have these elaborate habits you had to get in the habit of wearing, but also this hair and makeup, and some of you are significantly less hairy in other ways. Can we talk a little bit about what goes into the looks of these nuns beyond costumes?
So far, it's tinted chapstick and fake eyelashes. That's pretty much it.
That's their routine.
Yeah, we're so well covered with the veils and the wimples, and by the way, we had to learn all those terms, what all those things are. So you really only ever see our faces. So we didn't really have to do anything to our hair other than make sure it isn't poking out of the wimple. But of course, those who know me know that I generally have a full beard, and I don't now. So that was a difference. I haven't been clean shaven in many years. So that, except for that, that was about it. I mean, the costumes are a little weird to get used to. And there's us enjoying some folks out in the community. And my biggest thing is not tripping over the costume. That's the issue I've had so far. But,
Pat had a day today.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah, I had some issues.
Yeah, Pete, it sounds like you had some issues with the costumes and the stairs and doors and other logistics.
Oh yeah. Well, you don't know. Like, so if you're running down the stairs and you grab the railing just for support, and you have this long thing hanging here, it gets caught on the railing, and then you're spun around, and oh my God, there's a lot. And then it's funny, like, I don't know. That's one of them, playing in heels. After the first few weeks, because right from the beginning I had them on just so I could get used to them, and learning to climb stairs in heels was a new one for me. And just the other day when I was running up the stairs, I said, "Whoa, this is you just use the front of your feet, So I said, I'm becoming a pro with this. But it's a big adjustment, And then, oh my gosh, I don't know, the wimple and but it's I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Well,
we have pantyhose on too, right? You guys have pantyhose on. Some guys come to rehearsal with them on already, and then you pull them all the way up to maybe here, your chest. And halfway through the first act, they're down around your belly button. Really?
I wore mine in Wegmans today.
Damon, what are you wearing, Damon? You're wearing like wrestling leggings or something.
Yeah, I'm a different type of something with my leggings.
Well, you are a different type of something, Damon. We do know this. In fact, you also have an additional prop that I'm really excited about in this show. Can you tell us about Sister Mary Antoinette, which was designed by Todd Lamar?
Yeah, Sister Mary Antoinette's a really cool, interesting Muppet that it took a little bit of time, like, and a lot of practice. Like I kind of say she's kind of like my best friend now because she's always right by my side. I'm walking home with her every night and like talking in the mirror with her and everything because there's a lot actually more to using a puppet than you would think. Like a lot of people just like, it's not just, you don't just do that with a puppet. There's like a lot of things you have to think about when you're like using something on your hand. So it took a lot of time to get used to, but it's also a lot of fun because it's like a new experience. Like I've never actually been able to play with a puppet, and especially this one, it's like actually a really cool, like very detailed puppet. So it's like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, and I definitely have a whole new respect for people who are puppeteers after working with them myself. It is a totally different art form that we think it's, oh, well, we've been kids, we know how to play with toys. It's very different than that.
Yeah.
It has to come to life, which is a whole other thing. So
I have a little rehearsal of Damon when he first was rehearsing with the puppet the very first day. So let me just run this clip quick.
Sister's just jealous cause I stole her song. Dedication and commitment, you're so full of don't finish that one. No habit, no ticket, no fun. Ow! Get the hook.
Wait. Every moment of this, I get more excited for this show. Oh, that's great.
It's even better now.
It's
No, yeah, it is. It's exponentially.
Oh, well, I am so excited. I'm sure everyone watching this is feeling the same way too. So I also couldn't help but notice in some of those pictures and some postings online that the nuns have been about town in Geneva. So what was that experience like? I'm sure you raised a lot of eyebrows.
It was very entertaining because we didn't know at the time when we scheduled it, but it was graduation weekend for Hobart William Smith colleges. So there was a lot of out-of-towners around, and they were like, this looks great, but we won't be here. So when they found out it was streaming, they were very excited because they'll be able to watch it. You know, one couple told me they're from Massachusetts and they hope to tune in and stuff. So that was really fun. There were definitely some eyebrows raised and a lot of people questioning what we were doing. Pam and I had the privilege of driving the guys around in costume. We definitely got some looks that day. We got a lot of people saying, can we take our picture with you? Can we take our picture with you? So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I really wish there were a bunch of dudes dressed up as nuns when I graduated from college running around.
You know what? I had a friend of mine who lives near Genesee Park called me that afternoon, or he texted me, and he's like, are those your nuns playing kickball in the yard? I'm like, yeah, those are my nuns.
I was really surprised at how well we were received by most of the people. No, I was just really, really surprised. They were just supportive and they were having fun. The guy you see in the front of that picture came by on a that man right there. In fact, some of these guys know him, I think, now, but he came by on a skateboard and he got into the picture and it was really good. It was really, because at first I had a lot of trepidations. I want to walk around Geneva and people are gonna, and it was really good. Even the children with Damon, and the puppet, that was really, really a beautiful moment.
Well, walking around town in habits, not a lot of people expected to actually be men in habits.
Yeah, there were a lot of confused looks.
Yeah, and I was actually speaking to the kids on the playground when I was there with the puppet. After I took the picture, because I hadn't talked to the kids before the picture, we took a picture, and then I asked them, is there anything you want to say to Sister Marionette? And she sat up and was a little surprised and go, "That's a man."
That's so funny. I didn't know that happened, David.
It was really funny.
Yeah, so there were some interesting experiences with that, whether it was a person walking by and I opened my mouth or whether it was on the playground, but not a lot of people expected it at first.
And there was one gentleman down by the welcoming center. Remember when we were talking and he said to shut up or something? He was reading the paper. What did he? I don't remember what he said, but he was about the only. I don't remember what he said. Be quiet or something like that.
I don't know.
I'm trying to read my paper.
Grumpy guy.
Yeah, some grumpy guy.
Probably didn't even look up from the paper and see what was walking by at the moment either, you know?
For the most
all the
part,
excitement.
yeah, for the most part, people were wonderful and had a great time with them and was able to be part of it, which is really our goal, is to have people be part of the show and enjoy themselves enough to feel comfortable enough to be part of the show. There's a lot of interaction in the show where they actually the audience speaks out loud to us. So we're hoping that whoever does come to the show is going to want to do that with us and play with us. So.
And what a perfect warm-up and a really great sign that people were already laughing and having such a great time and coming up and taking pictures with the cast before the show had even started, right? And I think some of that, of course, is, you see a bunch of guys dressed up as nuns with sunglasses. You're probably going to have some questions and want to walk over. But also, I think this cast is so personable and so fun, and they think on their feet so quickly that I think it's just the right combination. And there'll be a whole lot more of that with the sort of improvisational nature of the show, as you're talking about, with the live audience that's there.
Yeah, these guys are top notch. I mean, the five of them together are hilarious. RJ's away this weekend, and it's been kind of strange having this hole right on stage without him there. It's kind of, we kind of been clunking our way through, but I like when the five of them get going, they're just hilarious. They're just hilarious.
Oh, I can definitely tell. That's a huge draw with us.
Yeah, I don't think they've seen this picture. This picture makes me laugh so hard.
Nunsense does High School Musical there, it looks like. Right?
Isn't that hilarious?
I love it. All right. So
I want to share that picture. Can you send that to us?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, I will.
Good alternate poster there too, right?
Yeah.
So that, I think, really explains the show pretty well and the dynamic. So I'm excited to actually see it. So if I'm someone who's thinking of coming to the theater and actually going into that space, right? I probably haven't been in at least a year and a half, right? What should I expect from the experience of walking in and seeing the show in person?
Well, I will say this, with the new, they are let me start again. New York State guidelines and CDC guidelines have kind of finally come together. And so we have a set of guidelines that we have to follow. And so in order for us to have as many people as we can in the theater, we have to have everybody there vaccinated. So in order to come to the show, you must be vaccinated. We totally respect people's choice to not be, but that is why we're streaming also, so that you have the opportunity to see us anyway. So if you are vaccinated, you may come to the show and you'll come into the theater. We will ask for proof at the door because we have to be sure for everybody's safety that everybody's vaccinated. So you can expect that. You can expect there to be hand sanitizer just like everywhere else in the world. But then when you come into the theater, anybody want to chime in?
You mean what to expect as being an audience member, just in general? Yeah. Don't if you don't want to talk to some nuns who are wandering around, then you might want to sit in the back or stream, because we're aching to get real people in there. And one of the fun parts about this show is the actual interaction with the audience. But I should also say that we are doing our best not to make that just an in-person thing, in that we will have a live chat that is projected on the wall that we can all see as it's happening. So the folks at home can also interact with us and us with them. So don't feel you if that's your only choice is to stream, we'll still pick on you.
We have a large chat box on the wall that everybody can see, so you'll be able to participate from home too.
Yes. And as an actor, Nick, you'll appreciate this. It's another challenge because, when you're memorizing lines, you're memorizing your own line in the cue line. And so the cue line happens and you got this line coming, but now there's 6 other ad libs in between and you're going, what was the line I was supposed to say? Really? And you're laughing at the ad lib. You're going,
Right.
I got to talk now. Oh my God. Well, it's fun. Yeah.
Oh, I think that just adds to the fun of going to the audience and seeing this. And it seems like the type of show, if, for some reason there is some sort of a blooper, no one would even notice because the whole show is silly and ridiculous and spontaneous.
Pam has been really good about telling us you guys aren't professional dancers, that you're nuns doing a show. So if you do goof, you go with it because, they're not.
They're not in the show.
Maybe you're not a professional dancer.
I'm sorry, Greg. I'm sorry.
Ooh, no, I'll just sit back and drink some tea for this. Okay, well, real nuns of Geneva right now.
I would say too, Nick, that people should expect it to be more like what we might imagine is a studio audience for live television. Okay, so you're going to see the cameras. They're going to go out in the middle of the stage floor and get in the way. They won't be in your way, but you will see them. And there will be cables all over and all of that. So you will be the live studio audience.
And you'll hear and see the interactions between the tech side as well. Whether it's between me and the band or up in the booth with the camera people, you will see and hear that as well. Streaming people won't be able to see and hear that part as much, but the live audience definitely will.
Oh yeah, and that's all intentionally a part of the show.
Yes.
Right, so that's cool. It'll be really interesting to see if we can distinguish the line between reality and what is a part of the show too.
Yeah.
Some of that as well, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, that sounds very exciting to either see it in person or at home. It doesn't sound like I would be missing out either way in either type of experience, just kind of different comparative choices really that we have. So that is really great. Now, how would I go about buying tickets for this show?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, and we've had a few people call and ask, what to do. If you go to our website, up in the right-hand top corner, you will see 2 options. And one says stream event, and one says Fatzinger Hall Backstage Pass. And so the stream event would be something you would watch at home. And the Fatzinger Hall Backstage Pass would be the in-person, in-studio event. So you'd have to pick the right ticket choice when you click on that. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention to make it clear, because we've had some people confused. So both of those tickets are available on our website. Also on our website is a new COVID page with our COVID policy that we've posted, so that everything's very clear and everybody is in the know of what exactly is happening. And also there are some links to the CDC guidelines and all of that there as well, if people want to take a closer look at any of that. So that's all there too.
Well, that's perfect. That can take care of any of these questions we may have lingering or uncertainties we have. So that's really great to have that there.
And they will not need to mask. Once they're in the building, they don't need to mask. We won't be social distancing. None of that will happen because we'll all have been vaccinated. So.
Fantastic. That makes things a lot smoother.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's great. And I understand there is another new feature on the website as well, which is pretty cool. I've seen a lot of familiar faces popping up on that.
Yeah. tab. So we started a little series. Every Sunday I post a theater people image. And so we've been collecting images and quotes from all the people in our lives, in our community that love theater for whatever reason. You can be an actor, a technician, an audience member. You could just be a lover of theater. Anybody that is in love with the theater, if you want to send us your quote and your favorite picture, we will post it one of these Sundays, and we're compiling them all onto our website. So there's a page already growing full of theater people that we love. And we want it to be a place to celebrate our community and our theater family, all around, all over the place. So we're trying to bring everybody together. So send us your quotes and your pictures, including all of you guys.
And I think that's something Theater 444 has done a lot of work with overall, is really keeping a community together in whatever ways we can do it, whatever ways we're comfortable or able according to different guidelines. But now we have options of actually seeing our theater patrons and family in person for the first time, or still supporting from home, and really reaching out to everyone who's involved. So that's pretty exciting.
It's been a really interesting year. We have really been so blessed to have patrons that have really reached out and taken care of us this year. I can't say that enough times. Every time I get a chance to say it, I say it. Thank you, thank you, thank you to our patrons, because they keep us going. We could not have survived this year without them, and you are everything to us. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. You can still go to our website and make donations. You can make donations when you purchase your tickets, if that's easier for you. But we are so grateful for any small amount, because everything matters to us.
And of course, the website has some pretty cool Theater 444 swag too that they can pick up if they would like.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also greatly appreciated.
Oh, yes. We have some swag on there, and we'll be getting a shop button pretty soon. But you can go take a look at what's there and contact us, and we'll get you what you want. But there will be some stuff at the show too, so you can pick up some things at the show. So.
Yes, and in addition to the support of our theater family and patrons who are also really a part of the family, I understand the Waterloo Library and Historical Society has also been a real godsend.
Yeah. Anybody want to say anything about the library?
They're just amazing. We go in for rehearsals on, weeknights and weekends, and the staff is there, and they every time, hey, how you guys doing today? The first week or so, before they would leave, they'd check in with us and make sure that we had everything we needed, if we needed anything before they left. And just the willingness, community theater people will understand this. Normally you rehearse in one space and you perform in another. And for them to be available for us to rehearse and perform in is huge, especially during COVID. At the beginnings, temperature checks, masks, the whole thing. And then as people were getting vaccinated, we were able to kind of cut back on that. But they were very supportive. They're very excited to have us there, and they look forward to people being able to come back to the theater as well.
They want people in their space also, and so it's good for them too. But they've been such a blessing. It's just been great. A lot of places do not allow us to be there. The amount of time that we're in that space. So it's been amazing.
Well, that's really great to have such a supportive organization with you too. So in other news, I'm dying to know, well, what's next for Theater 444? I know you've always got something else on the docket. Mm-hmm. So what do we have coming up?
Well, I think we're going to take the summer off. I know that there is some other summer theater happening in the area. So if you're a theater person, you can find some other things this summer. We've been kind of constantly going since last March. We really have been trying to keep viable and alive. So we're going to take a little break this summer, but we've been asked by Music Theater International to be part of an international weekend of theater celebrating community theater. Oh. And so in November, on November 12th through 14th, we will be doing a show called All Together Now. And there will be global participation from theaters all over the world doing the same show at the same time.
Wow, that sounds like a really incredible project.
Yeah, and we're super proud and excited to be part of it. It's going to be sort of cabaret style, all their top hits, you know, all the famous songs from all the famous musicals. And like I said, there'll be community theaters all over the globe performing that same show on the same weekend. So it's just cool. It's just super cool.
Yeah, yet another really innovative, interesting project. So I just can't wait to see where things keep going.
Yeah.
Starting, of course, with this show, which I am now really, really excited to see. So, Pam, tell us a little bit more about when exactly the show is. Just refresh us once again, please.
Yeah, we're June 3 through 6. We open this Thursday. You guys, we open on Thursday.
Oh, my.
We open Thursday night at 8, Friday at 8, Saturday at 8, and Sunday at 2 o'clock.
Excellent. Well, I cannot wait to see it, and I can't wait to see who else comes and get together. And these performances are going to be amazing. So thank you so much for letting me be a part of this and join you here today. And
yeah, thanks for meeting with us, Nick.
Yeah, my pleasure. And thanks to everyone for watching at home, too. We appreciate you as well. Thanks.
Thanks to your cat, Greg.
Thank you.
Cute cat, Greg.
Yes.
He was getting jealous of my screen time.
So, all right. Well, thanks, everybody. And we hope you'd come see Nunsense and tell your friends and tell your family. It's just going to be fun. It's just fun. It's so silly and fun. And I mean, these 5 guys in pantyhose, come on.
It's fantastic.
It doesn't get better than that. It just doesn't. So
5 guys and a puppet.
Thanks, Nick.
All right. Well, thank all of you, and have a wonderful night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Good night. See you tomorrow.